Okay. Now we take the moment by surprise. We take the elements of all the things that we're doing to stay kosher and make this video come alive. You know, I'm gonna watch this video back and I'm gonna fucking say to myself, fuck. Shit, I'll probably watch it when I'm dope sick and I'll be like, shit, I wish I fucking had some shit right now. But just imagine in your own mind, Curtis, that you are strong and you are lethal. And if you just focus and stay true to your celestial friends and your companions and your family that's all around you, I mean, look at them all. They're everywhere. You'll do fine. Anyway, here's a little ditty number that I just caught from the slumber. I'm getting older, I'm getting wiser. The days of last night, sir. I'm a fighter and I'm a lover. Push come to shove, there is no other. Word to my mother, word to my mom, word to my mama. Like the Dalai Lama, the words of advice hint from the shining light, the shining ones. Word to the Creator, word to everybody who made me. Word to God. God, here's a prayer I like to say from the depths of my heart. Will go to you. Dear Lord, it's Curtis calling. I hope you can hear me. I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. I'm saying this from all of my being. I'm saying this to you, dear Lord, Father in heaven, to please forgive me my sins. Because I don't really mean to be doing stupid things. But sometimes the inner me just takes control. And I can't seem to find any other way in the moment. I can't realize how to make any other options and decide to take a better route. So, therefore, it would lead me to doing stupid things, which I later soon regret. And therefore, taking an interception notice that I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. 1 second, God. I am grateful for all the things you've done for me, all the things you provide me with. I'm grateful for the life that I live, even though it's a total fucking mess. I'm grateful for my existence. I'm grateful for all the people and all the friends and all the family you've brought me and that you've put me in situations with. I'm grateful for the food that you provide me with. I bless it all the time. In Jesus Christ's name, Yeshua, Emmanuel. I say a little blessing every time I eat something, whatever it is. I used to bless a pack of noodles because it's all I used to eat when I had all my teeth taken out. And when people would come over, I would be so insecure and embarrassed because I couldn't fully eat with my teeth because I wasn't at that point. And that's when I just had them taken out. And so I would be in the washroom eating my sandwich and my noodles because I had no other way to, because I would look funny eating my food because I would look weird. And plus, I didn't want anybody to see me take my teeth out, put my teeth back in. So I went into the washroom and I ate my food there while my company, whoever it was out in the other space. But I said a prayer or a blessing every time I ate my noodles. So therefore, in which turn would tell you that I'm grateful for whatever I get. Whatever I'm provided with, I'm grateful for. I just want you to realize that and recognize that and understand that even though I pretty much have nothing and have had nothing for a long time, I always keep in mind that I have something special nobody could ever take away from me. Something that would be enlightened to give me pizzazz, pep, like the light side of the spirit. It's like written in the Bible, for thou shalt eat every word of God, the bread of life. Well, I've been given the bread of life, and I'm grateful for it. Because if I didn't have that, then everything would be bland, and everything would have no taste. So, dear God, I just want you to understand that and take this prayer, and hopefully, understand where I'm coming from. I'm also thankful for all the celestial beings that you surround me with. You can see them all. Say hi, guys. Yeah, they're awesome. And take this side of all these guys. Yeah. They're transparent to the naked eye. But I can see them. If I focus with my chakra, with my third eye, I can see them. I know they're there. And word to the people that watch this video, they go through a lot of shit, man. They go through a lot of shit to be in existence. The existence puts them through a lot of stuff. And recently I had a dream that it was pretty evil in the astral plane. Evil energy. It can get pretty evil in the astral plane. But the astral plane is somewhere special and sacred to some people, to a lot of people, to everybody in there. Because that's after you live your life on Earth or on this compound or on this whatever this place is, then you're in the astral plane. Your spirit leaves your body and your spirit leaves your body and you're in another light, in another dimension. Or maybe the same dimension, but just on the other side. The veil has dropped, and you're pretty much in the spirit world, which is a totally, completely different world over there. They do things over there on the other side that are just unimaginable. Anything is possible. Anything can be created. You create it with your mind. You build it. You build your own future. Just like Jesus said in that book, he says, if you believe in me and you believe in my name, I will go and build a place for you. I will make a home in your heart and get to know who you are and study you. And by the time comes, when the day comes, I'll have your place ready and built for you. I will go and build a place for you. Believe in my name and take me in as your Lord and Savior, and I will build a place for you. Because if he's living in our hearts, then he's in tune with our mind. But for me, the situation is a little drastic. Everybody can tap into my mind. Everybody, and I'm in a bit of a sticky wicket. So Yeah. Anyway, now we conclude this video. Just want to show people to know that this is Curtis Vital and Sloan, and my last album was Checkmate. You can find it on Spreaker, you can find it on Spotify, you can find it on Google Podcasts, you can find it on Deezer, you can find it on iHeartRadio, you can find it on Castbox, Podcast Addict. The albums I do aren't really podcasts that you would usually be used to. Whoever's familiar with my style, I tend to make a different kind of podcast album. It's not a podcast per se, but it's an album. Album's like a record, like which you would buy a CD. Like when you buy a CD, it has a list of 12 to 15 tracks or something like that. So when I dropped my first couple albums, I then started to notice a pattern. Every album I came out with sounded different, because I would either sell my phone, because I'd be getting dope sick, or I'd change my different microphones, like these microphones that I'm not really used to. So I really like this thing popping in your face, and I tend to more used to earbuds. So, because I can't handle big, heavy things over your head. So, but every album I came out with sounded different. When I came out with Tombstone and Child of the Sun, those albums were alright, but then Redeemed came. When Redeemed dropped, it was like blowing the people away. Morse Code, Phantom White, The Nightmare of Curtis Sloan. That album just blew the tops off the charts. Skullface, that album was a keeper. Until this very day, all of these albums have stayed the same. Nothing's changed from it, so I go back on those albums from time to time, and I listen to them, and maybe other people listen to them too, and go back and remember what it was like for us back in the day. 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, I first started making these albums about two and a half years ago. 2 years ago. I started out with Re-Entry Drafts. And Re-Entry Drafts came out, and that was just like, testing the waters, see how putting these albums together. And then I got all the way up to Redeemed. And I did Redeemed in one day. One day, ladies and gentlemen, I did all those songs in one day. And I was there with Jesse, and we did, pretty much we did the album. I actually did the album, but he was there. And then, after I finished the album, I did the album cover for Redeemed. And I was just testing the waters. I did the album cover. I did the paragraph. And I did all those Southern Sovereignty cool things that you would do just to bring the album to life. So when I came out with Redeemed, it was like something new for everybody to listen to and enjoy, to give an explanation of my situation, of who I really was. Sometimes it struck people as odd as curiosity, because there was a lot of gossip going around about me that was not good. People were starting to wonder if I was like some fucking fake fucking loser retard or some shit, because of a lot of weird things that have happened in my life that have transpired that have just fucking been nuts. I'm not getting into it right now, but yeah. My life has been one big mess. So this is my chance, a way to come back, explaining my way back in art form. And none of these lyrics, none of these songs were written. I didn't actually write down these lyrics. and do it like that. It was all freestyle off the top of the head. And that's how I've done all my albums. And they turned out okay. Because music has been living inside of me for a long time. And I wanted to show my appreciation, show my world of expectations that the world would expect of me. So I wanted to come up with something that was logical, that would show my side of things, because there's always two sides to a story. There's always two sides to a story. So it's all this gossip and rumors and shit going around, and then there's my side of the story. So when I came out with the album, people all listened to it, and they just were blown away. So I took the feedback off that, and I got a lot of downloads off that album. Something like over 2,000 downloads. 2,000 downloads. And that's just downloads. That's not people actually hearing the album. But Redeemed was like the one that started the kick. Actually, it might have been Tombstone or Child of the Sun, but when Redeemed came, that was it. I was showing everybody where I was at and, what I was really all about. Some of these songs sounded like really off course because I wasn't done in a professional studio. It was done off my phone. That's how I've done all of my albums. So I managed to do my album, and I brought my album to life. So now going back, when I was done Redeemed, and everything, the smoke started to settle, then I started working on my next album, The Honor Code. When The Honor Code, and it was starting to get built during the process and creation, it was fanatical. I actually ran into a lot of barricades with doing The Honor Code. But when The Honor Code actually finalized and was dropped and was done, I did the album cover to that too. And that came out, and that blew the people away. That was actually my album that I was just fucking, oh yeah. Bomb's Revenge and Rockefeller were on The Honor Code. And Ultraman. And those songs, they actually made an impact. Going back about 2 years ago. Well, 2 years for me, but some people keep saying it was a lot longer for them. So, but either way, when I did that album, it actually made sense, because I did Tombstone, Child of the Sun, Redeemed, and The Honor Code. So that was my fifth album, but we'll say fourth, because Re-Entry Drafts wasn't really actually an album. It was just a bunch of tracks I managed to push together to show my skill. Yeah, I still have those songs from Re-Entry Drafts. And I actually tried making a Resurrection album called Resurrection. And I actually raised that album from the dead. So, but some dickless piece of shit had to go and fuck with it, which he's now being taken care of. So anyway, The Honor Code came, and it was a starlight shining album that everybody took note of. Everybody started to get to know my situation, because everybody watches me 24/7. Their celestial bodies and their eyes and their awareness and their in-tune focus have been watching me for a long time. So I started to get to know about the situation that was going on. And it was actually a trip. It was actually quite the intel. So, but when Honor Code dropped, Bomb's Revenge was the one that did. That was it was all off the top of my head. It was all freestyle flow. And the beat to Bomb's Revenge is just fucking sick. It was so dope. and it came out and it blew the people away. And Rockefeller was the next one. Those, if I made any music videos or those albums, those would be the songs that the music video would be made from. Bomb's Revenge, Rockefeller, and Ultraman. And for those that actually don't remember those albums, maybe you should go back and take a listen. Because those albums really were the ones that first started the whole movement. And when when the honor code dropped, and it was all clear, when the smoke started to settle from the honor code and people were blown away, people started to get more of a fine, in-tune focus of who I really was. They started to know that I was a different person, that all the gossip and all the rumors and shit that were going around about me were all bullshit. So, because something happened in the past that it was tragic. And it pretty much brought my situation to a whole new level. Put me on a pedestal that I wasn't quite ready for. And yeah, it came out as quite a shock. So when I came out with the honor code, it was the one that made sense to people to change their perspective about me and their perception. So that was the Keeper album. So, and then when I started to work on my next album, and I actually think I did the honor code. It took me about 3, 4, 5 days to make the honor code. I think either that, no, maybe about 2 weeks. 2 weeks to do the honor code. But Redeemed was done in 1 day. The honor code, 2 weeks probably. Then I started to work on my next album. 12 Solutions. 12 Solutions, and that came out. And it was actually made an impact. Those were the times, those were the days that everything was shifting. And I started to get in touch with my powers. And I started to get in touch with my ultimate in-tune nature of who I really was. And get to know how to use my powers effectively. And the celestials that are around me right now 24/7, are around all of us actually. I got to know them, and I created pretty much my own empire. So that's when I started to come into the works of making Big Boss Incorporated. Big Boss Incorporated was an incorporation that I put together to stand the test of time, to fight back for all the things that was going wrong in our society, on this compound, or in this world. So I grabbed 4 of the heaviest hitters that I remember. I grabbed Eminem, I grabbed Whitey Ford, I grabbed DMX, and I grabbed Madchild. Bad Lax, Bax War, Running Ass Soldiers, Rough Riders, and the Masters of the Dark Arts. And then I made a radio station, Boss 1701. Because seeing as how everybody could hear my mind state, and everybody could hear my mind, and whatever I was thinking, whatever thoughts I was thinking, and what I was saying in my mind, everybody could hear it. So I'm thinking, this is unfair, because I got no moments of privacy. I got no moments of time to myself. I got nothing, right? So I turned around, me and Jeffrey Donovan were talking, and I started to kick up the thing. And he all of a sudden came up with an idea. I was in my house, and all of a sudden I hear this radio station outside my house, and it was playing. But I tried to follow it, but I couldn't quite find the source for it. So, and then I started talking, and then Jeffrey Donovan started picking it up, and then I got to finding out that this was the station that we were in the works of creating. So Jeffrey Donovan asked me to pick out four numbers, and it took me a couple minutes, but then I came up with the number 1701. So I don't even know what the significance of those numbers were, but I picked those numbers, 1701, and then we just called it Boss 1701. And then it made all the difference in the world, because that was actually the radio station. When I play a song in my head, everybody could hear it out there. I would love to show you right now what I'm talking about, but we haven't got to that point yet. So maybe down the road, further along down the road, we'll make trials and we'll make videos where I'll show you what I'm talking about in that regard. So, but in this works, I'll just keep going with my explanation here. Everything that I'm telling you all right now is true. And it was bizarre. I know to the normal world, back in my time, this wouldn't even make sense to anybody. But we're in our time now, so this is going to make sense to those that understand and those that are actually aware of what's going on. For those that have eyes to see, let them see. For those that have ears to hear, let them hear. So anyway, my radio station, or our radio station that I was in the works of making, Boss 1701, would be a radio station on your Zeus dial tone. That's what it is. So your Zeus dial tone would be the airwaves going on all around us that are everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. So wherever I put my focus, people can hear that. So if I think of a song in my head, like Korn, Blind, from my time, I would play that in my head, just the beginning of it, and it would be playing wherever I'd be focusing on. So that right there was how the radio station got created. It was my way of striking back at everybody being able to hear my thoughts. So that was how I came up with Boss 1701. So in the midst of all this, creating my albums, after 12 Solutions, I did Cradle to the Grave. Cradle to the Grave, after I did that, I did Cradle to the Grave. I did Immortal, I think. I did all these little side albums in between. Like, I did Death Blow, and apparently I just read recently The Last Titan. All these other albums that I don't remember making, that I actually made. It's fun to go back and listen to your work later on in life when you're in study mode, because it gives you a chance to go back and realize where you made your mistakes, and seeing how all my mind flows, my rhymes were all at the top of my head. It was a significance to know that it would be teaching me stuff in this time. Like I'd be putting down lyrics in this time, or putting down lyrics back then for me to learn stuff in this time, in this day and age. And like years ahead. So, but anyway, I gotta cut this video off because I gotta go to the washroom. So I'm gonna say sayonara, and next video I'll tell you all about Boss TV. And maybe I'll tell you about all the competitions that we came up with during the time, and as it's a landmark. So this is me signing out. Gotta go to the washroom. Aye, goodbye.